Okay, so in this video, we'll see how a constructor will work. So what is a constructor and how constructor will work? So what is the use of constructors and what are the types of constructors in the Python? See here, this constructor, right? Constructor is used to initialize the data members. Constructor is used to initialize the data members of a class when object is creating. This is the exact definition of the constructor. What is the constructor means? It is going to construct the object actually. It is going to construct the object with the default values. Means the initial values. With the initial values, the constructor is going to construct the object. Means what is the meaning? That means it is going to initialize, means assigning the values. Initializing means assigning the values to the data members. Okay, so to the data members of the class. When it is going to do that, that task means while creating the class. Okay, so in the Python, there is a method that is underscore underscore init underscore underscore parenthesis. This is the method. It acts as a constructor. Okay, so this we can call as a constructor. Okay, so this method, remember this method. So this method is this method we need not to call externally. In the previous example we saw we are going to call the functions to initialize the values. But when we are using this init, we need not to call this method. When we are creating the object, when the class object of the class is creating, at that time automatically this init method will execute. Okay, so these instance variables are going to initialize by using init method. Okay, so instance variables only, not the class variables. So that's why I explained you in the previous video what is the instance variable, what is the class variable. So instance variables are initialized, instance variables only initialized by using this init method. Okay, how we can write the definition means the syntax of the init method is this is a def underscore specifically, then next underscore underscore init underscore underscore and within the brackets self. This is actually the method. Then whatever the data members we want to initialize, then that we can write as a body of the constructor. Okay, so this example here I given one example. See here, this is how we can write. First we can write a class that is a rough. Then I am creating the constructor. Okay, so this constructor and then f, this is the function it is going to print like that. So whatever in the previous example I shown, so that I will show you here. See, in the employee class, if you observe, this get details function is initializing the values actually. See here, I am calling this function. Whenever we are calling this get details, then this get details is going to execute. While executing, it is taking the self nothing but E1. The next EID nothing but 101. Next ename nothing but Satish. The next salary, it is nothing but this is. Okay, so these three values are assigned to these values, and within the body of this get employees, body means this is the body with whatever in the indentation. This is the body. Within this body, this EID is assigned to ID. This ename is assigned to name, and salary is assigned to salary. Okay, means ID, name, salary are the instance variables. Instance variables. To these instance variables we are assigning by calling get employees. For example, one more object if I create, then what should I do to initialize these values? We need to call again. See here E2. E2 object I created means I given these values again. Okay, so that means I am calling this method. If I create like that, 100 objects or 1,000 objects. So for each and every object, I want to initialize the values. Means the ID, name, salary, I want to give to that object. Then I need to call that get employee details, get employee details, 1,000 times I need to call. Okay, so this is not the correct way. So what should we do means we can use the constructor. So when we are using the constructor, we need not to call that method. We need not to call that method. So automatically the constructor will execute while we are creating the object. That means this line no need. Directly these details we can give while creating the object only. That means instead of this parenthesis, we can provide those details within this parenthesis. This here. But these get employee details will not be exist. This will become as a init. What is that? Underscore underscore init underscore underscore. That's it. Now this is the constructor. This constructor we need not to call externally, means no need to write this one. Okay, just we can give these details. Okay, so through these details here, then no need this line. And here also same thing, we can give these details here. No need to call this method because it is not exist. That method is not exist. Now, whenever we are writing this, means we are creating the object of the employee even. While creating this one, this employee can call this init method. Okay, now see, I will try to show you that by printing print constructor of employee is executed. It will give this message. Okay, so now while I printing. So if it is executing or not, within the body I'm writing this one. So constructor is executing or not, we will see. Okay, so while running this one, this will execute. Okay, so what I will show you here means, here also I can write a one statement, that is print e1 is created. Okay, e1 is created means what I am doing here means, if this line is executed, e1 is ready. Okay, so after it will go to the next line. That means it will show that E1 is created. Then it will execute this one. While executing this one, what will be happen? These values will be execute and this print statement also execute. Means constructor of employee is executed. It will show. And then after that, I want to show you here print. Print E2 is created. Then it will show that E2 is created also. Means we will understand that while running this one, this statement will come and also assign the instance values. Then it will show that E2 created. Then I want to show these employee details same. See, while I can save this and run this. Sorry, one employee takes no arguments. Just a minute. Yes. So here see employee one. So the same program. So here init underscore underscore init underscore underscore self is going to execute when we are creating this object. Okay, so that means while executing this line, the program started means the execution starts from here. While executing this line, now this init method will execute. Means we will get output here. Okay, so after executing this one, we'll get this one, we'll get the same this one. So once I will try to run this, see here, run the module. See, for first thing, constructor of employee is created. That means E1 is created. Again, it is calling constructor of the employee is created. E2 is also created. Now, employee name, employee ID, employee salary. So these details are assigned and printing here. Okay. So that means the constructor is executing while creating the object only. This is about the constructor. Okay. So in the next video, we'll see the next concept.